guys, it's Kina. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card, we are bringing you a message that was meant to find you. But just before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to Babbel, who is sponsoring today's video. Babbel is a language learning app that is scientifically proven to get you speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. Now is the perfect time to be making goals for the year ahead. And for those of you who are wanting to learn a new language, I cannot recommend Babbel enough to you guys. Babbel uses short 10-minute interactive lessons to help you pick up your new language. I love these lessons because there's such a good variety of formats, so you never get bored. And the lessons have conversations that are natural and realistic. If you guys have ever used textbooks to learn a language before, I'm sure that you may have noticed sometimes the speaking is quite unnatural, like they are talking about something that you're never really going to use in real life, or these sentences are very rigid. But with Babbel, you will actually learn to speak like a real life person. Por si alcuni di voi sapete che stavo imparando l'italiano con Babbel, e ora l'ho completato. So I finished the Italian course, and can I just say I was really impressed at how far the levels go. I would say you reach like a very comfortable intermediate level. Once you finish the course, Babbel makes it really easy to review the material, and it also prompts you to try different courses. As you can see, it's broken down into categories that are really practical. So like if you were planning to go on a trip, or even if you wanted to go to a certain region and you want to know about the culture and the cuisine of that region, I just really like the consideration that they've put into real world applications. This is what I think really sets it apart from other language apps. They're not just making you memorize vocabulary, but actually teaching you about the culture. Native people say this, it's kind of unnatural to say that. Like in Italy, this train is technically called this, but Italian speakers tend to call it that. And little tips like that. What language should I do next? German? Russian? Ooh, Portuguese. If you guys want to give Babbel a try, you can get 65% off your subscription by using my link, which will be down below. I will have it in the description as well as the pinned comment for you guys. And Babbel is offering a 20-day money-back guarantee, so you guys really have nothing to lose. And I would highly recommend Babbel to anybody. Thank you so much to Babbel for sponsoring today's video. Thank you so much to you guys for listening to that. And now let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card, we are going to be taking a look at messages that were meant to find you. And in today's reading, I really feel called to ask Spirit to come forward and give you these messages. So these are going to be messages that Spirit has been meaning to communicate to you or meaning to confirm to you. I think I don't have that much to explain for this reading, so let's just jump right into it and show you guys your options. There are 4 readings for you to choose from today, and each option has both a crystal tower and a different oracle deck. So because these are oracle decks, the cards are all different. So I'm gonna give you a close-up look at the crystal and then just a random card from each deck so that you can get a feel for what the artwork looks like. You might be drawn to the crystal, you might be drawn to the back of the deck, you might be drawn to the front of the deck, or even the specific message that is on the random card. So there's many factors for you guys to look at when you're choosing an option. If you feel drawn to more than one option, that is totally fine. There may just be a lot of messages for you today, and there is no need to limit yourself to one option for this reading. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each option. So for option number 1, your crystal is Citrine, and your deck is the Oracle of the Fairies, and your random card is Moon Energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. For option number 2, your crystal is Angel Aura Quartz, and your deck is the Oracle of the Angels, and your random card is Believe in Dreams with the number 44. For option number 3, I don't know what this is. I was hoping maybe somebody out there would be able to identify it, but we're gonna call him Mystery Boy until we figure it out. And your deck is Starcodes Astro Oracle, and your random card is Venus with the message Beloved and with the number 21. And for option number 4, your crystal is Lepidolite and your deck is the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. And your random card is New Moon in Aquarius with the message open up to change. So just in case you guys need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can look at them at the same time and compare which one is really calling to you. Take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose this Citrine, I love this Citrine so much. And the Oracle of the Fairies, this is going to be your reading all about the messages from Spirit that were meant to find you. So I actually just want to put this deck over to the side for a second because I want to start off the reading with the Transparent Tarot. I have never used this deck in a reading before, so please bear with me. It's quite different from most tarot decks, as I'm sure you can tell, but I kind of want to start off the reading by creating a picture with these cards so I can get more of a feel for your current situation and what Spirit might want to talk about today. Ooh, she's slippery. All right, so let's see if we can paint a picture for group 1. We have, this is the Queen of Pentacles. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. And oh my gosh. And then we have the Ten of Cups. What a fortuitous reading. What an auspicious reading. I hope that I'm using the right words, but okay, so I am totally seeing this Queen of Pentacles as you. It does not matter what gender you are, but basically the Queen of Pentacles is the queen of material abundance, the queen of security, the queen of prosperity. First, I want to tell you guys that you are so incredibly talented. Spirit is kind of saying like, I have a lot of confidence in you. Spirit is saying, I believe in you, and wants you to believe in yourself more. You're incredibly talented and you're incredibly well equipped to manifest anything that you want in your physical world. Some of you guys need to be reminded or reassured that you really have what it takes and that you deserve a space in the fields that you're trying to enter into. And I mean fields as in, you know, like a professional field, a creative field. Some of you guys need to be reminded that your desired field would really benefit from having you there, that you would really bring value to it, that you have the knowledge that you need, you have the skills and expertise that you need, you have the experience that you need. Spirit really wants to drive this point home, that you are so inherently valuable and that you will create value in the world around you. If you guys have been wondering about your career, wondering if a certain endeavor is going to be successful, wondering if you should go forward with your desired career, this is a huge yes. And I would say across the board, those of you who chose this group, you will be seeing some long-term financial abundance coming in. Now, this may be a slow increase. This is not, I think, windfall is the word, when it like when it falls in all at once. This is more like slow and steady baby steps, abundance increasing. So it does require patience and effort, but Spirit is really confirming to you that it will be worth it, and you're going to be grateful for this slow pace in the end, because as you go, you're going to learn, you know, how to act with this abundance. You're going to learn how to manage this money. You're going to learn really good financial management skills if you haven't already, and assure that you're going to hold on to this abundance for a long time. What I see for you guys is not just like a lottery win. It's like you earned it. You caused it with your own hard work, and you are assuring that you're going to be abundant for years and years to come, especially if you have families, if you have children, partners, even parents to take care of, or if you're hoping to have a family of your own. Spirit wants you to know that they're going to be very happy and very taken care of. And actually, I'm just noticing this kind of duality between the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Some of you guys are entering into a situation where you don't have to choose between working and providing for yourself and providing your family or friends with the emotional fulfillment that they need. You don't have to choose, or you don't have to sacrifice your personal life and personal happiness for your work life. If you are in a situation where you feel like you have to be doing this, I think that that's going to resolve itself very, very soon. Or maybe some of you guys are worried, like if you're a career person, or if you're really busy with your studies and you're wondering, I hope my friends know I love them. I hope I'm taking the best care of my children or my family or whatever it might be that I can. And Spirit wants to confirm to you that you're doing an amazing job, that your loved ones do feel incredibly loved by you, and you don't have to choose. You don't have to compromise. You can have both. I think that's what this Two of Pentacles is talking about. You can have your success, you can have your material abundance, and you can also be there for the people that you love and deepen those connections. And Spirit is currently working to create an environment, a situation for you where that is possible and where that is easy for you. In addition, just within your career, this can also be a message that you guys don't have to choose between what makes you money and what brings you joy. And if there are two things that bring you joy, you can do both. Like if you have two passions, two projects you want to start, two jobs of interest, you can totally do both. You're the freaking queen. You can do it all. You can have it all. So, and I just saw 5:55 on the camera timer. So big changes are coming for you guys. Gone are the days where you feel like you have to choose, where you have limited time, energy, resources. Spirit is providing for you, sorry, or maybe with you because you're working with Spirit to provide for yourself. But everything that you need to make your dreams a reality. And if you look at this Ten of Cups, the way it appears in this picture is that it looks like they're toasting to the Queen of Pentacles. So I could even see this as your loved ones celebrating you. I think more than you guys know, the people around you are so proud of you. Like your family, friends, and loved ones are so proud of you. Even people in your circle that you're not that well acquainted with are still proud of you, still proud to know you. They admire you. They might, brag, I know this person who is really good at XYZ. I know this person who can do XYZ. But for a lot of you guys, it's like you're not seeing that. People talk so positively about you, even behind your back, and you're just not seeing it. People feel so loved and cared for by you. But I think maybe you're kind of hard on yourself. Like, I hope I'm giving them enough. I hope I'm taking care of them enough. And you are. Oh, that's a really nice message. And also, just the fact that this queen doesn't have a crown, it's almost coming across to show how humble you guys truly are. Okay, so let's leave, isn't this deck so cool? Okay, let's leave this image here, and now we are going to get into the Oracle deck that you guys chose, the Oracle of the Fairies. And see what she would like to add to this picture, or if there's anything else that you guys need to know. Another thing that's coming to me with this picture, the Ten of Cups does talk about family, and this isn't necessarily something I would normally attribute to the Ten of Cups, but I am thinking about ancestors, the ones who came before you, this kind of vibe. And while I definitely think this is representing loved ones and people in your circle, who are currently on earth with you, I even think that your ancestors or loved ones who have passed on are cheersing to you in the soul world, who are, looking on with so much pride. And there's a message in here that your ancestors have worked so hard so that you could have it all, so that you could do everything that you want to do. Like when your grandparents, great-grandparents were working so hard to build the life that they want, it's almost like even though you weren't born yet, they thought about you, they kept you in mind. Like, I'm doing this so that my grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren can have the best life possible, and so that they can do every little thing that they want, every little thing they set their mind to, so that they have the time to explore all of the potential that lies within them. So your ancestors are really happy about this as well, and really, really proud of you. And if you guys do journaling or if you talk to the soul world, I would just give your ancestors a hug. Let them know that you're thankful. All right, so Oracle of the Fairies, what would you like to add to these messages? We have look in a book. Whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring the insight you seek. And let's get one more. Wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. This is a really nice card to come out because we've been talking about all of your dreams coming true. And I really like the balance that we have going on with these cards. Like even just in this picture, we have the balance between Pentacles and Cups, which is like the balance between the practical grounded aspect and the spiritual dreamy aspect. So this could kind of be a hats off from Spirit that you guys really have that balance down well, where you are working with Spirit, you are having faith in Spirit, but you're also recognizing when you can take action, when you can take concrete steps towards what you want. And I think you guys really have that figured out intuitively, and I think you guys should give yourself more credit for that. You cooperate and co-create with Spirit really, really well. So, and then yeah, even in these two cards, there's like a balance, and I just saw 1111 when I looked up at the camera. So far you guys have gotten 555 and 1111. That could be Spirit's way of saying hi to you if you see those numbers. Or your ancestors, that could be their way of saying hi to you as well. But 5, like I mentioned before, is the number of big changes coming. When we see repeating 5s, it means you're growing, you're developing, you're expanding, you're changing. And then number 1 is about new beginnings, new manifestations. And I like to think of repeating ones as a green light. Basically, Spirit saying you are right on track, you have a great idea of what you want, you have a good head on your shoulders, go for it, go get them. That's like the vibe that I feel from repeating ones. So, and I was gonna say, sorry, so wonderful balance of practical and spiritual energy in this picture, and also a really nice balance of practical and spiritual here, because with this card here, we see you guys, you know, studying up on the things that you want to do, gathering research, you know, tangible research in the 3D. And then here we see you putting in your request to Spirit, or maybe I should say putting in your request to the fairies, because this is the Fairy Oracle deck. And with this combination, you are unstoppable. You cannot be stopped. This is what Spirit is saying. If you guys are wondering about what the next step is in your journey, I'm definitely feeling some sort of education with this look in a book. It could be literally reading a book. It could be reading online resources. It could even be speaking, you know, calling your friend and asking them for advice, or speaking with a professional about the next steps in your professional journey. But there's kind of a feeling here of you don't have to do this on your own, because there are many earthlings, many people on this earth who came before you, who have been successful, and who have left pieces of knowledge behind. And now these pieces of knowledge are here for you to access. Some of you guys might want to read books about time management, discipline, about manifesting your dream reality, these kind of self-help books. Or you might want to follow people on social media who inspire you and who have a similar story. So, you know, people who hustle and work hard and make their dreams a reality, and people who take time for themselves, who nurture themselves, who treat themselves to a good life, who have this really nice balance. If you can, you know, put yourself in circles with more of those people, even if it's virtually. I know it's not literally reading a book, but it's like watching and learning and absorbing and treating the people and experiences you see around you as education. much of which could be free, you know, like just learning from example or taking advice from kind souls who have a similar path. But of course, this is a card about books, so it could be like specifically a book is going to be very, very significant to you guys. With that being said, if there's been a book that you guys have been wanting to purchase, but you're like wondering if it's worth the investment, maybe it's been, you know, sitting in your cart at a shop or sitting in your notes app as like a to read list, this could be the green light to go ahead and buy it. It's going to be totally worth it. I think you're going to be very, very satisfied with the contents of the book. And then again, this can also be talking about like formal education. If you guys have been considering investing in a course or just, you know, investing your time to teach yourself something, I think Spirit is saying this is a really, really good idea. Now, moving over here with this wish wisely, I really, really do not get the feeling that this is telling you like, oh, you better be careful about, I just looked up and it's 15-15. So it's 1 and 5 again. So I was saying, I really don't see this as Spirit being like, you better be careful what you wish for, or, you know, insinuating in any way that you guys are being unwise with your wishes. I think this is literally more Spirit just saying you wish wisely. You know exactly what you want. I think you guys just need more reassurance of that, you know, that what you are trying to pursue, what you are wanting for yourself is really in alignment, not only with your greatest happiness, but with the happiness of everybody around you. Because you, in the pursuit of your happiness, will bring the abundance to support your loved ones, and it's going to make you really happy. And what better gift to give your loved ones than your own happiness? That sets a beautiful example for them. And honestly, like, and this might be a kind of a like poor way to phrase it, but it's like, it makes you nicer to deal with. It makes you in a better mood. It makes you more jubilant. It makes you more willing to open your heart and share laughter. Like, everybody benefits from you or from anybody being their happiest and best self. All right, so let's move on now to the next tarot deck. What other messages does Spirit have for you today? What else does Spirit want you to know? There's a message of like, slow down. And the image I'm being shown is, you know, when a motorboat is going really, really fast and there's like little waves in the lake or whatever. And then when it's going really fast and it goes over the waves, it's like, and it's really jarring, you know, really bumpy and jarring. Or like when you go over a speed bump when you're driving a car too fast. I was kind of getting that image. And so there's a message in there like, you'll get it all done. You will get it all done. Slow down. Some of you guys might be making to-do lists that are too much for the day, and then, you know, burning out or, you know, rushing to get everything done. And so, you know, while a big message of this whole reading has been, you will get everything done, you can do it all, you can have it all, I would add, in due time. Like, there's no rush for this. And now that I think about it, Cups and Pentacles are the two slower of the 4 suits in tarot. So, you know, there's no rush. Take your time, your opportunities. Like, you know, it's almost like some of you guys are seeing your opportunities as like, this is your opportunity, staring at a watch. Oh, group 1's taking too long to get here, I'm bored. And like, your opportunity is gonna walk away. And that's not the case at all. Your opportunities are for you, and they're going to wait for you. They will be there when you are ready. And oh yeah, with this look in a book and wish wisely as well, whether you're dealing with this right now or this is something that's coming in the near future, be aware of rushing to make a decision, or be aware of those who would make you feel rushed to make a decision. If you feel like you need more time to think and you need more time to research something before you make a wise decision, allow yourself the time to do that. And, you know, this kind of looks like, oh, I need to research something to make a professional decision. But this can be in relationships as well. If someone's rushing you to make up your mind about something, don't oblige. Some people might be bluffing, or if they really feel that way, if they feel like you don't deserve to take the time to weigh your options and be informed, then you should probably steer clear of those people or organizations. The people, situations you're meant to be in, they would want you to be sure. They would want you to be informed. They would want you to be educated about your decision. So never feel like you have to rush, whether it's like just within yourself, you're like, I don't want to miss this opportunity, or whether it's due to external pressure. We have the 5 of Swords. That's interesting that it comes up when I was talking about that, because 5 of Swords is about like conflict, confusion, arguments. We have the 5 of Cups. It's even more 5s. Okay, I see what this is talking about. It's very interesting that these two people are looking exactly in the same position and they're facing towards each other, and they're both 5s as well. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Then we have the Ace of Cups. And then finally, and these cards are coming out very quickly, and then we have the 6 of Coins. So, you know, we've been talking about like things are looking up for you guys, success is coming to you, and you know, we did talk about this being slow and steady, but the way these cards came out so quickly, that just, it really makes me think that something is happening very soon. So whatever you've been working on here, it's likely that you guys have already been working on this, hoping for this for quite some time. And this is like spirit saying it's just around the corner. With the speed at which these cards came out, there's really no other way I could interpret that. So okay, there was one specific message that I got first with these 2 cards coming out because of the way these people are mirroring each other and having the same position. And I think this is from spirit, but I also think that this is from your spirit guides. And what they're saying is like, when you are sad, we are sad. When you are happy, we are happy. And some of you guys might, and this is not the most uncommon thing, but it's like, because spirit guides have, let's say, a higher perspective or a higher consciousness, a higher knowledge, and we are in many ways trying to aspire to that. Sometimes it almost feels like going through life is some way to show our guides that we're doing it right, to make our guides proud, to live up to our guides' expectations. And sometimes we have this feeling that when we encounter a loss or when we fuck up in some way, that our guides are either like, disapproving or disappointed in us, or that they are just like, it's okay, just be positive, because we definitely see, there's a lot of love and light up there. And we definitely see some messages like that sometimes in the spiritual community. And so what they're saying with this is almost like when you go through a failure or an obstacle or a process of grieving, we're right there with you. We're not saying like, see, I told you so, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have made that mistake. And we're also not there saying like, stop being sad, write in your gratitude journal, you should be happy. And I think sometimes we can fall into that trap of perceiving our spirit guides like that. But it's not like that at all. They empathize so much with our emotions. They empathize so much with our human experience. And so I think your guides are coming through because they want you to open up your heart a little more to them. Like if you're, you know, if your guides were maybe advising you against something, but you did it anyway, and then it didn't turn out well, don't think like you can't go and cry to them or you can't go and complain to them, because they just don't have that in them. They're not that kind of like, see, I told you so type of people, or type of spirits, I should say. Like if you messed up and you're sad, they feel sad too. Whatever you're feeling, it's like they're saying we're right there with you, and they just want you to know that they're standing in solidarity with you, maybe, if that's the right word, and they mirror your emotions a lot. So at the same time, when you're happy and proud of yourself and excited, your guides are right there cheering you on, happy and proud and excited, because they just want you to be happy, and there's no judgment there. There's only love. So that's one very specific message that I felt with these two cards. But then I looked at all of these together. So you guys, I feel that in the recent past, or maybe this is something you're going through right now, you've been through some kind of loss that really caused you to question yourself. Like you thought that you were capable of doing something, and then it didn't work out. You thought that you were gonna carry something out very well, and then it fell through. You thought that a path was good for you, and then you didn't enjoy that path. Something didn't pan out, and so it leads to this confusion. If my judgment is what brought me here, and I wasn't brought to the right place, can I really trust my judgment? And I think that it's not fair to judge ourselves in this way, like to come down on ourselves this way, because sometimes we have lapses in judgment. I feel like I'm saying that word a lot, but sometimes we have lapses in judgment where our emotions get the better of us, our anxiety gets the better of us, our ego gets the better of us. And, you know, being connected to your intuition, it doesn't mean that that never happens, but it means that over time you get better and better at discerning. Like, okay, no, I think I'm a little bit in my feelings right now, so maybe I'll wait to make this decision. Or I think my anxiety is getting the better of me right now. I think it's really harmful to think we have to get to this place where our judgment is never clouded, where we're never thinking from a place of fear, where we're never in our ego. It's not about, you know, eradicating that kind of thinking. It's just about being aware. It's just about being able to discern that. And the way you come to discern that is by freaking making mistakes like this. That's how you learn. Okay, so you can look back. I made that decision from fear-based thinking. And what did it feel like when I made that decision? And bit by bit, you piece together what fear-based thinking looks like, what overly emotional thinking looks like, what your ego looks like. You can only learn this through experience. So rather, your guides would applaud you for going through this experience. They would not judge you. This was a learning experience. And this is going to help you even more in the future to recognize the path that is right for you. With this Knight of Cups, look, they're here to help you. And this actually goes together very nicely as well, because this person is crying and then the Knight of Cups is coming up behind. And even just the Five of Cups on its own, it has this message of, if you would only turn around, if you would only look at this from another perspective, you would see that nothing has been lost. You would see that your perfect match, your perfect cups are still here waiting for you. And so the way they came out like this, if you only turn around, you'll also see this loving Knight of Cups that is here to help and support you. And I also think it's really cool that this knight is literally walking through water, almost like wading through the water to come and find you, who is feeling sad, lost, disappointed, and helping to lift you up again. And I have a feeling that not only this is talking about spirit and your spirit guides, but they will orchestrate, you know, humans. They will orchestrate humans in the 3D to come and help you and pull you out of this dark time, or to pull you out of these difficulties. I also felt called to say that eagles or hawks or, you know, large birds might be significant for you guys. I'm also feeling called to say pelicans for whatever reason. if you see large birds, especially flying over you, this could be a spirit who is watching over you. Also, I think this is a donkey, and I'm just thinking of how it's said that like mules are stubborn. Is donkey and mule the same thing? No, I think actually mule is like a horse and a donkey. But whatever. It's making me think of stubbornness. It's making me think of perseverance. So this is like Spirit's way of saying whatever you're going through, you can push through it. Be stubborn. Be stubborn in the pursuit of your dreams. And also, I'm remembering that eagles, I think eagles are like the highest flying bird. I remember reading that somewhere, but I'm just gonna take that for the sake of this reading. If it came to my mind, it must be important, because the way I'm seeing it is like if you keep being stubborn and you keep pushing forward, you will fly higher than the rest. It's also really interesting that we have all these fives, and this is something that's been coming up like really, really frequently when I do readings, where 5 represents this pivotal moment where depending how you choose to react in that situation, or depending how you choose to feel about that situation, like it could make a 180. Like if you come up on this difficulty, you know, whether you choose to allow that to define you or whether you choose to keep pushing forward like this stubborn mule, that makes a world of the difference in the outcome. And so number 5 has just been coming up to talk about that a lot recently. And you know, I think the truth is many may not make it past these trials. And you know, it's not about flying higher than other people or being better than other people, but it's just about like, don't judge yourself so much. Like this isn't meant to be easy. We have the Ace of Cups here, which talks about a new beginning full of happiness. I love that you guys have the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups, because it's like 1 to 10, you know? When it comes to your emotional fulfillment, you have everything that you need from A to Z. You have everything that you need for yourself, and you have everything that you need for your loved ones. I don't know like the story behind this card, but this is a barrel of alcohol. So it makes me think of this card where people were celebrating and toasting to you. Whether they do that with alcohol or not, it doesn't matter, but it's like giving me that vibe again. You should be so proud of yourself. You should be so celebratory of yourself. This card also talks about self-care. And there was that message of you guys rushing, like working very hard to get a lot done. And Spirit is not discouraging you from working hard at all. But, you know, maybe break it up into smaller intervals, or no, smaller pieces, and do it at more spread out intervals. Like this is not a race, is kind of what Spirit is saying. And make sure that in your busy schedule, you do make time for yourself. I think that is very, very important. It's like you guys need to schedule in alone time, or just have some time where you can be alone with your thoughts and your feelings, be alone with Spirit, not burdened by your everyday responsibilities, and just like breathe and just relax. I really, really think that's what the Ace of Cups is talking about in this situation. Now over here we have the 6 of Coins. This is a card that also indicates some career opportunity coming. So we have kind of gone we've kind of gone like full circle here. We saw this at the very beginning of the reading, that some major success or abundance was coming to you guys. And I do think of the 6 of Coins as someone who is leveling up in their career. On one hand, they are getting, you know, more pay, more recognition, more happiness in their life, but they're also having more responsibilities. You guys might be moving up to a position where there are more people who are relying on you. I don't necessarily see this as a longer workload per se. I don't see this as like longer working hours, just because at the beginning we saw that there was really nice balance between your work life and your personal life. I can't imagine Spirit making you that much busier, but it might be work that is a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging, more people involved, a larger team, you know, so it's a heightened level of responsibility. But what Spirit has been trying to really drive home for you guys this whole time is that you have what it takes. And I want to say, like, because you have been through these difficulties, you could be such an amazing leader. it's like, would you want a leader who has never struggled, who has never been confused, who has never struggled to make important decisions, who has never questioned themselves, who is just like, nah, life was a walk in the park. Everything happened for me super easily and I never question myself and I never doubt myself. I'd be like, yikes, like that would be a red flag for me. And everything that you guys have gone through has made you such a strong leader for your own life and such a strong leader for your community and for your team. Okay, so let's move on now to the fallback oracle deck. We're gonna get a couple, these are like written out messages. So I may just read them. If I feel like I want to add something, I might add something. But the first message we have is trust, take a chance. Faith can move mountains. Trust the universe to guide you through the unknown. And then we have go to nature, take a walk, have a picnic, lay on the grass, look up at the clouds. So this Ace of Cups that we got earlier that was talking about self-care, maybe something that would be really, really good for you guys is to go into nature by yourself. This fairy, we see her in a wooded area, and we were talking about these people walking through water. If there is some body of water that you can go to, whether that's a lake or a pond, or even just like a fountain in the park, I think that being near water, seeing and hearing the moving water could be something that brings you guys a lot of peace of mind. And if you look up at the clouds, you may see a large bird. Okay. And what else? Okay, this one wanted to come out very quickly. Beautiful soul, you glow when you are comfortable in your skin. Your beauty goes beyond what you see in a mirror. You are perfect as you are. Oh. And then at the bottom, we have shift your focus off the problems to see the solutions. You have all you need. So there's that message again of you guys having everything that it takes to be successful. And also talking about shifting your focus where, again, it's like a pivotal moment. It's dependent on how you choose to act in that situation or what you choose to focus your perspective on. Are you seeing what's happened as a problem, as a disappointment, as a defeat? Are you seeing this as an opportunity to become even greater? Your focus and your perception is really, really important. So finally, we are going to take the tea leaf cards. These cards can get pretty random, so they might not have anything to do with what we talked about, but just be like a little, side message for you guys. We have an owl. So owl's a large bird. I didn't mention it before, but owls could also be significant for you guys, whether you see one in the flesh or if you see images of owls a lot. And it says good advice from a wise person. So this is making me think of spirit orchestrating people to come in and help you. And also look in a book, because we interpreted that in so many different ways, not just literally reading a book, but educating yourself, getting guidance, getting knowledge. The owl could also be a symbol of your deep intuition and your deep wisdom. We have horseshoe with good luck, and we were also talking about mules and donkeys and stuff. So I think your lucky animals are those of the avian variety and those of the equine variety, if that's how you pronounce it. And we have scales. Keep your life in balance. We were literally talking about that, you guys having an amazing balance in your life, amazing balance of that practical versus spiritual. And we have wealth at the bottom. Oh my gosh. It actually tied in really, really well. You never know with the tea leaf cards. Sometimes they just throw you a curveball, but that actually all tied in very, very nicely. I'll say in addition to the meaning of the scales, Libra energy could be significant. So Libra season or a Libra person. Also Cancer, just because, the horses are making me think of the Chariot. So like Cancer season or a Cancer person. And then I'm going to also say Scorpio because of that eagle because eagles can also be a sign of Scorpio. So yes, those are all the messages that Spirit has for you today. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the Angel Aura Quartz and the Oracle of the Angels, this is going to be a reading all about the messages from Spirit that are meant to find you. So I'm just going to put this deck aside for 1 second because I want to start off this reading with the Transparent Tarot. I just got this, so this is the first video I'm using it in, but it's been pretty fun to use so far. Basically, the cards overlap and then they make a picture. So what I want to do at the start of this reading is just pull a few cards and see what kind of picture they paint for you, because this might hold some clues about what Spirit might be wanting to talk to you about today, or just, you know, let me know about your current situation. All right, so for group 2, what does their picture look like? So we have the Two of Pentacles coming out, and interestingly, this came out for group 1 as well. We have the, oh, it goes this way. We have the Knight of Cups. And let's get one more. And then this is the Ace of Wands. All right, how do I want to, I feel like this goes like this. So it's like the Knight of Cups is offering, you know, like this. And then, that looks kind of scary, but the Ace of Wands is a good thing, I promise. I'm gonna do it like this. I think that this is what the picture looks like. So it's really interesting to me actually that the Ace of Wands looks like this in this deck, because it looks like something is beaming down. It almost kind of looks like how the Eight of Wands would normally look, but this is especially cool for me because for quite some time I have thought of the Ace of Wands as having a meaning of being tapped into your higher self or receiving downloads from your higher self. And so just the fact that it's illustrated like this, I'm seeing this as you at the bottom. It's also really cool that the wand representing your higher self is so huge and you're like this little human, almost reminding you that you are such a gigantic soul. You are such a big and powerful soul. And maybe sometimes you guys get stuck in that illusion of thinking you're just this tiny human and you can't do much and you can't make that big of a difference. And the very first message that Spirit is coming through with is to remind you of the massive and beautiful spiritual being that you are. You are so freaking massive. And when I say massive, I mean that in size, I mean that in your abilities, I mean that in your presence, in your energy, in your glory. You are so much bigger than you might realize a lot of the time. And your soul has a much bigger perspective than your human self. So where you might see problems, where you might see things that you can't fix, or where you might not be able to see the way, your soul can see. Your soul sees you like a little hamster or something that's just easy to, I can pick you up and put you over here. I can, or it sees your barriers as a little cherry tomato. I can just swipe this tomato away. I don't know why I use that as an example, but things that might seem so daunting, so overwhelming, so impossible to us, it's quite small and easy for our souls. And I think this is almost like the more that you yield to your higher self, or the more that you honor this connection with your higher self, the easier your life is going to become. And I have a feeling that your higher self has been trying to get acquainted with you or trying to make its presence known quite a bit these days, or will be starting to do that very, very soon. You will start to see really blaringly obvious signs in your waking life, specifically your waking life. So as opposed to just dreaming, you know, you'll see big signs staring you in the face or really loud noises telling you some message. I think your higher self is going to become quite loud and boisterous is the word that is coming to my mind. Very soon if they haven't already, and you might start to receive some pretty crazy downloads, and it will come to you just like a gut feeling would, just like a spark of inspiration would. In the coming months, if you guys have any sudden whims to do something or sudden urges to do something, even if it feels impulsive or poorly thought out, or like you don't know why this is coming to you, I think your higher self wants you to act on them. Your higher self, first of all, having the ability to plan and be cautious and be practical is great. So I'm not like discrediting those kinds of qualities, but everything needs balance. And I think your higher self is wanting you to be a little bit more spontaneous. Sometimes it's okay to just take the action and see what happens. Sometimes it's okay to not know why. I think your higher self wants you to welcome, you know, becoming overcome with passion, or just, you know, doing something from a burning desire, doing something from a whim. Live with your passion and spontaneity more. This is the big message from your higher self. You might also start channeling things, saying things, and then only realizing after the fact what you just said. Like, you know, spitting some truths and then, oh, where did that come from? Or writing things down, typing things in a message to somebody and being like, I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm on a roll. And you are just channeling directly from your higher self. Your higher self is really, really starting to come through and make their presence known. And one thing that they would really like to help you with when it comes to this whole idea of, you know, you're bigger than you realize, you're more capable than you realize, is juggling many projects or getting more things done. I think your soul can help you with productivity and taking action towards all the things you want to take action towards. Now, this is a little bit similar to a message that came through in group 1. I'm kind of seeing the Two of Pentacles coming through in a similar way, where your higher self is kind of taking over this part of the reading, by the way. It was going to be a message from Spirit, but Spirit graciously let your higher self take the stage. But, you know, there is a message about there's a lot to do, but you can do it all. So for those of you who are starting to feel overwhelmed with your schedule, or feeling like you need to choose what you want to do because you can't do everything, I think your higher self is finding a way to let you do everything and to not be stressed in the process. And your higher self is going to be helping you to not take things so seriously. Your higher self wants life to be fun for you again. It's like at some point, as you're going through the motions, your life became like a chore. Your life became like a to-do list. Your life became like an exam, they're saying. It became like an exam where you have to check all these boxes and score all these points and be graded. And it's like sometimes that analytical part of your mind just wants to shut off, and you want to just have fun and not have to make sense and not have to be so serious. Your higher self really, really wants you to have more fun. You guys should invest more time in creative expression, if that's your thing, or more time in entertainment, you know, consuming the entertainment or the media that you enjoy, or games. Things where literally just the point is to have fun, like board games, games on your cell phone, sports, games like outdoor activities. I guess leisure would be a good word. Fun and leisure, your higher self wants you to focus more on. Now, if you are struggling to juggle everything, even, you know, the way this person's arms are stretched out makes me think of someone who is extending themselves. And then we see this Knight of Cups who is coming in to offer some help. So it's like there might already be somebody in your life who has been offering to help you. And the Knight of Cups, sometimes it has this vibe to me of somebody who is going out of their way to help you, you know? Like it's, for example, your coworker is coming to work and you want a coffee. It's not like, oh, the coffee shop is on the way to work, I'll pick one up for you. It's like your favorite coffee's all the way over here and they're not going there, but they, you know, leave home early to go and get you this coffee. That kind of thing. It could be small things, it could be bigger things, but you know, someone going out of their way, and also someone who doesn't really gain anything from helping you and doesn't expect anything in return. That's the kind of vibe that cups people give me. So Spirit's kind of hinting there may be somebody like this in your life right now, or somebody like this is going to be coming into your life soon. And there's kind of this feeling that this person has romantic feelings for you. Now, as the reader interpreting this, I am not sure how that makes you feel. Like, some of you guys might be thrilled to hear that. For others of you, that might be unwanted, but it's just something that Spirit wants you to know. Like, this person who is helping you out, they don't expect anything in return. Like, they don't even expect you to, you know, date them or do whatever in return, but just let it be known that this person might be developing some romantic feelings for you. Also, on a separate note, if you guys are already in a relationship or already involved with somebody that you like, this very much looks like a proposal to me. This is somebody who's on one knee and, you know, offering something. So, for example, if you're in a relationship, your partner might be proposing to you soon, proposing to be engaged, proposing to move in together, or if you are involved with somebody but not official yet, they might be proposing to make things official soon. Okay, so I think that's everything from this deck. So let's move on now to the Oracle deck that you guys chose, the Oracle of the Angels. I really, really like this deck. So what else? This one wants to come out. What else would Spirit or your higher... I am creator. I love that. Okay, and let's get one more. The number 11 might be significant to you guys. We also have an ace, which is the number 1. And these are coming out so fast. And we also have moving towards the light. Numbers in succession, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, those kind of numbers might be significant to you as well, because so far, like, all of the numbers we have present here are 1, 2, or 3. You have 1, 2, 11, 32. You guys get the picture. And I love how quickly those came out. Just because we've been talking about you guys getting closer and closer with your higher self, becoming a lot more, I guess I could say proficient, becoming a lot more proficient at downloading and channeling. You see, I didn't even have to make that much effort and the cards just like bloop. And I just looked up and the time of the camera is 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go. Numbers in succession. But what I was saying is, like, I didn't even have to really do anything. I didn't even really have to shuffle, and it just like bloop bloop, they fell out. So it's like without even, oh my gosh, and that was something I meant to say, but then I put a pin in it and forgot. So thank you very much to your higher self for reminding me. Without much effort made, you just have access. Like, you could literally just channel on demand, I feel. Maybe at first you would need to, you know, set the tone, set the intention and all this stuff. But pretty soon enough, you'll just be able to go, like freestyle channeling or something like that. And the thing that I was gonna mention when I looked at this picture and I forgot is that the Two of Pentacles makes me think of somebody who is busy, and then this is making me think of, you know, downloads from your higher self. So, you know, I do see this sometimes, but I have to say it's kind of rare. So you guys are kind of rare. You guys are kind of special. Just judging statistically from what I have seen in my readings, because I do very often see this advice, like you need time to be in solitude, you need time to rest, you need to be still in order to get the messages from the divine. But you guys, if you haven't already, you're coming into a point in your life where you could literally be juggling 8 tasks on the phone with 6 people, like cooking a meal, and you're still getting downloads. And, you know, that might be a little bit, honestly, might be kind of inconvenient, but it's still really, really cool. You know, imagine you're like, I don't know, you're in a meeting at work and you're, you know, talking about your idea for something, and all of a sudden you get a download. Yes, it is a little bit of an inconvenience because all of these programs that are running in your brain have to stop, and like the download is like that clip of Melania where she's like, hello, and then everybody stops talking. It's like that. You know, something just completely stealing the show and interrupting. So, you know, it's maybe kind of annoying, but in a fun way is how it's coming through. But it's really, really amazing that, you know, I see you guys kind of skip through this. I mean, you can still do it if you want to, if it makes you feel good, but it's like you skip past this like prepping, setting the stage, quieting the mind, and like you're just ready to go. That's what this looks like. You're just ready to go. We have I am creator here, and I kind of like how this mirrors each other. Doesn't this look similar? If I put if I put the cards like this, then it looks like the person's has this flowy, yellowy orange hair going up to the sky, and then this looks really similar to that as well. You are not only connected to the divine creator, but you are the divine creator. And also, you can not only channel your higher self, but you can channel other beings too. I'm thinking of all of these lights in the person's hair as beings, as spirit guides, as advanced souls, as souls from other places who want to come in and co-create with you. If you will have them, of course, because it's totally your right to filter and discern which spirits you would like coming through. But you could work with some very, very amazing spirits to, and this sounds kind of cheesy, but to create a better tomorrow. Like, there's a lot of spirits out there who have ideas for Earth. And, you know, some of them are good. Maybe some of them are not so good. No offense. I'm just a human. I don't know. But you could channel some extraterrestrial messages of like, this is what you guys should do with Earth. You know, back where I'm from, we do it like this, and I think you guys could benefit from that. It's kind of like when people would travel back in the day, travel somewhere else and be like, this is how we do things, buy our stuff, look at our religion. Except not in like a forceful way, but just like, can I interest you in how we do things over here? It kind of has that vibe to it. So moving on, we have moving towards the light. Interesting that we have a couple here on the card. So maybe for some of you, it's funny how I just accidentally threw that away. I think we really might have a mixed group here where some of you are very happy about this Knight of Cups making an offer to you, or, you know, really showing up and helping you out in your life. And some of you are like, this is awkward. And it's interesting too how this dude has the same hair as the Knight of Cups, like shoulder length blonde hair. And this person has the same hair as this person, like wavy orangey brown hair. I don't know if you guys look like that, but it's interesting how they're similar. Honestly, if I'm being very honest with you, I don't have much to add with this moving towards the light card right now. It just looks like you're moving towards your spirituality, moving towards a better relationship with your soul, moving towards a better future. If something else comes up with this card, I will mention it later, but at this time, I don't really have much else to add. So let's move on to the next tarot deck and see what other messages Spirit or your higher self has for you. All right, group 2. What other messages do we have for you? Oh my gosh, we have the Devil. So Capricorn energy might be significant, or Capricorn season, which at the time that this is uploaded, we will be in Capricorn season. We have the Queen of Swords. Okay, we have, look, it's the Ace of Wands again. So yeah, I wasn't lying when I said your higher self is taking over the reading. We have the Six of Cups. And we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so there's a message in here. There's a lot of messages coming through at the same time. So I apologize in advance if I'm kind of like jumping around a lot. But the first thing I want to talk about with this Queen of Swords and with the Devil as well, and with the Ace of Wands as well, is that you guys need to believe in yourselves more and also have firmer boundaries. Oh, and something that's coming up as well that I'm just going to kind of interrupt myself with, back to this discerning which spirits are coming in to talk to you. You know, we have this Devil here, and we have snakes, which can be, you know, kind of deceptive, kind of sly. The Devil in general, it's like that misguided or evil voice that is whispering in your ear. Not all downloads that come through to you are going to be beneficial, especially at first. You know, there could be some spirits who are malicious. I personally like to believe that those are kind of few and far between, but I think there are quite a few mischievous spirits. I will say that. Who are just, you know, just tricking you or just annoying you, this kind of thing. So just be discerning, you know, tapping into your spirituality. It doesn't mean that you throw your logic out the window. It doesn't mean that you throw your skepticism out the window. You know, it's on one hand, we don't want to be skeptical of the fact that these spirits exist, but we want to be skeptical of some of the messages that we receive from these spirits and be skeptical of our ego as well. It's really important to keep your wits about you with this Queen of Swords and just always be discerning. Always make sure you specify whom you want to come through and ask who is coming through, just so that you can be safe. And I really feel with this Queen of Swords, you guys are more than well equipped for this. But I guess, you know, channeling and downloading is really, really fun. I remember when I got my first pendulum and I did some I was like asking all of these questions and going crazy, and I feel like a lot of the answers I got were not accurate, because I just went crazy with it and I like lost my, I didn't do anything bad, by the way. It's just like, come on, you really believe what the pendulum is telling you, you know, like that kind of thing. So, yeah, have fun, but have responsible fun and have safe fun. I think that's what these two cards are talking about. And then the Ace of Wands is here to confirm that, you know, this is in reference to your ability to channel. Just really check in with every message you're receiving. How does this feel? How does this energy feel? How does this entity feel? You know, do I feel like I'm expanding and floating when I listen to this message? Or do I feel like something in me is sinking? Do I feel like something in me doesn't sit right? That's going to be really, really important. Now, the other thing that was coming here is really needing to believe in yourself, because the Devil can also talk about just that evil voice in our head that tells us we are not good enough, that tells us we can't do the things that we want to do, that tells us we are not worthy of XYZ. And the Queen of Swords is a tough cookie, and she's gonna slash this snake. So don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, even if you're standing up for yourself to yourself. You know, I'm a huge proponent of like, if you have this mean voice in your head, sit with it and dive deep and see where it comes from. And I do believe in that, but sometimes you just gotta tell that voice to fuck off. And I've learned this with myself recently. A lot of my negative thinking is just a habit. You know, it's just something that I'm used to. And I have to really check myself and be like, why the fuck are you thinking this? Like, what is the point? And then I'm like, oh, you're right. I don't need to be thinking like this. Sometimes it's really just a habit that you need to kick. Now, again, if you feel like you would benefit from really diving deep and seeing if the devil is here because of an unhealed wound, I'm definitely not discouraging you from doing that. But it's like your higher self would like you to kick the devil's ass a little bit more, you know? Stand up for yourself, fight the devil. The same way if someone was talking shit about your best friend, you're not going to be like, hey, person talking shit, I think you have some unresolved. Well, maybe if you're really nice, you will. Or maybe that's kind of patronizing, actually. No, you're just going to tell the person to fuck off, right? So you're allowed to tell this devil to fuck off. You're allowed to tell any spirits that you don't want to talk to fuck off. Like, don't think just because they're in the spirit world, somehow you have to honor them like the maximum senpai. Like, not everybody is deserving of your energy, whether they are incarnate or not. So the Queen of Swords is asking you to really, really protect that. Now, I do think you will be in contact with some really, really beautiful spirits with the Six of Cups. I do think that you'll be in contact with your soul family. I also wanted to say this Knight of Cups who is showing up in this card and this card, I do think that this Knight of Cups is a soulmate. Now, I know that we have like the mixed feelings, how we feel about this Knight of Cups, but they are a soulmate. They are somebody that you've had a past life with. They are somebody who is going to play an important role in your life. That doesn't mean that you 100% have to be with them or have to end up with them romantically, but they are here to teach you something. Even if you don't end up with this person, I think this Knight of Cups is here to show you how you deserve to be treated and what it looks like when you really love somebody. Because like I said, it doesn't feel like this Knight of Cups is helping you in a transactional way. There might be that assumption that is there, especially if you have dealt with a lot of nice guys or nice girls in the past, you know, where they do all this stuff for you, and then when you won't date them or sleep with them, suddenly you're like an asshole or you're a slut or, you know, that kind of person. If you've dealt with a lot of these people before, it might feel really, really unfamiliar to have somebody in your life who just wants to help you because they care about you and doesn't feel entitled to your affection, to your romance, to your intimacy, whatever. Like, I just want to help you. I just want to be there for you. And if some of you guys are feeling an aversion to this Knight of Cups, it might have to do with that. Like, based on your previous experience with nice guys or nice girls, you just kind of assume that people who behave this way are a nice guy or a nice girl. You just assume, oh, this person's being nice to me because they just want me to date them. They just want to get in my pants. I'm sorry for the vulgar expression, but like, I feel like it's really not the case with this Knight of Cups. It's really, really not the case. Again, you do not have to be with this person, but I really think they're a soul family member who is here to show you what it's really like when someone just cares about you, when someone just loves you, and what it's like to be treated the way you deserve to be treated. That being said, if this is someone you like or somebody that you're currently with, this can be an amazing message for you guys, an amazing confirmation that this is a very, very close and a very, very familiar soulmate. Aw. And then finally we have the Knight of Swords. This is funny because we were talking about you guys being busy, having a really busy mind, and the Knight of Swords definitely talks about that as well. But I think it's really interesting the way this came through, because this to me, like I said, it's familiar love, it's really sweet love, it's unconditional love. What's really interesting is that, 6 is the number of unconditional love. The devil also adds up to 6, so the devil can be very good at disguising itself as unconditional love, much like a nice guy or a nice girl. Interesting. So you've dealt with people before who masqueraded as loving you unconditionally, but they really just wanted something from you. And it doesn't even need to be a romantic suitor. It could be your parents. It could be somebody in your immediate family who acted like, I will love you unconditionally as long as you do what I want. And it's like, okay, but that's literally an oxymoron. Unconditional love doesn't have conditions like that. And so it's almost like when you start to see the signs of somebody cozying up to you, of somebody starting to offer you things, you're like, nope, and you just run away. Because you're like, I know how this goes. You're gonna butter me up and love bomb me, and then you're gonna drop all of your conditions on me, and then when I don't follow them, suddenly I'm ungrateful, I'm a bitch, I'm this and that. I know how this goes. So the Knight of Swords, like, you're starting to feel this love coming from a Knight of Cups, or you will be starting to feel that soon, and you might run away from it. And you know, as much as I was raving about the Queen of Swords, these Swords court cards can be a little bit emotionally closed off or emotionally detached. And this whole part of the reading is about you guys like learning to trust your discernment again. Learning to trust your discernment with the people you're involved with the spirits you're involved with. I trust myself to know when I need to say no, but I also trust myself to know when I can say yes. It goes both ways. I trust myself to know when I can open my heart and let somebody in. Wow. And the white horse for me, it's like a symbol of freedom. I think that you're freeing yourself. I think that you're liberating your heart from a prison that you may have built around it, but that you built out of necessity at one point. And your higher self wants you to know that you don't need this prison anymore. You still sure as hell need your discernment, but you don't need a full-on travel ban into your heart. Okay? So, wow. Let's move on to the fallback oracle deck. I'm going to take a couple cards from here, and these are like written out messages. So I might just read them, but if I feel like there's something to add, then I might add something. So, woo, okay. Unstoppable. You are limitless. You can handle anything. Don't underestimate yourself. You have many unique talents. Ooh, and then we have two coming out at the same time. Oh, and these are really, really nice together. You are enough. You always have been. You always will be. Release attachment to relationships and achievements to feel worthy. This is really making me think of, you guys have dealt with a lot of conditional love, because I think that unconditional love is what gives rise to this kind of attachment. Because when we're being loved conditionally, we're not free to just be. We need something on the outside to make us feel worthy, to make us feel safe. Just being us and just being within ourselves is not enough. This can lead to issues with attachments to things, to people on the outside. So affirming to yourself that you are enough is so important. And then I love how this goes together. I am safe in my arms. I care for myself like no one else. It's all about opening up your heart again. Like, you, from this experience, you have learned to take care of yourself, which is amazing. But being able to take care of yourself and being obligated to solely take care for yourself is two different things. And you are not obligated to be the sole carer for yourself. In fact, this goes against our nature as humans. Humans are social. Humans are dependent on each other. And like, it's a fine line between independence and, you know, stubbornly shutting yourself off from all help or all offers of love. And this is honestly a big problem for the collective. So this is not just you, but more and more we are becoming emotionally detached and separated from each other, and like refusing to depend on one another. And more it's becoming like we're against each other. And it's interesting that you guys have all of these loving spirits coming in, trying to help you move towards the light and create a better tomorrow for the world. One of your goals as a light worker or one of your missions, maybe if that's a better word, could be to help Earth as a collective open up their heart again and start letting people in again. Because what we're seeing here, and I'm kind of sad to say this, like, I don't wish this on you, but I don't wish it on anybody. And so many people are going through things like this. And I feel kind of sad. I'm sorry, I don't want to end the reading on a note like that, but it's important to remember that you can always turn this around. You can always open up again. You can always connect again. So we're finishing off the reading with some tea leaf cards. These cards can be kind of random, so just be aware that they might be talking about something completely different than what we mentioned in this reading, although sometimes it lines up very well. We have Throne, position of authority. Immediately I'm thinking you guys have a position of authority in the spirit world, almost like you are a chairperson, you're an executive. We have Diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. So for those of you who resonated with or were happy to hear about the proposal message at the beginning of the reading, we do have a diamond here. Diamond can also be referring to the month of April, so maybe somebody born in April is significant, or just the month of April. What did I say? Someone born in the month of April or the month of April could be significant. And then we also had Capricorn energy here, and then we have air sign energy and water sign energy. We have desk, pay attention to your work. And one that fell on the floor. Aw, dogs getting together with friends. That's so sweet. Maybe you guys will be seeing a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, or getting together to celebrate something with your friends. Also, people born in the year of the dog might be significant. That is, 2006 might be kind of young, but 1994, 1982, 1970, and 1958. Yes. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Ant. Work, achievement, success. So we have, ooh, this could also be talking about like some achievement at work. You're getting a position of authority at work. We have work, achievement, success, position of authority, and pay attention to your work. So maybe somebody's getting a promotion. Okay, but these are all the messages I'm seeing for you guys. So I'm gonna end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you, and a big thank you to Spirit as well as your higher self for coming through today. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever... Oh man, I really cannot ad-lib this thing or else it just goes off the rails. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number threes. So, upon further Googling, I'm like 80% sure that this is moss agate, but nothing that I've Googled looks exactly like this, and that is why I'm so stumped. I even got like one of those apps that is supposed to identify rocks, and I asked other people what they thought, and nothing quite looks exactly like this. So please, if there's any rock experts out there, please let me know what this is or what you think it is, if it is in fact moss agate or something else, because I'm very confused. He is beautiful though. So if you chose this mystery boy and the Starcodes Astro Oracle, then this is going to be your reading all about the messages from Spirit that were meant to find you. So I am just going to put this aside for a second because we're going to start off this reading with the Transparent Tarot. This is a deck that I got recently, and it's really cool because it's see-through. The pictures on it overlap, and so you can kind of you know, paint a picture or make a story with the cards in a really cool way. And we're gonna start off with this because this could give us a hint about what Spirit is wanting to talk to you about today, or just give me some further information about your current situation. Okay, so for group 3, what picture can we paint for group 3? We have the 10 of Cups. Lovely card to start off with, if I do say so myself. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So already we have repeating numbers. We have double number 10. Oh, this is like destiny is blessing somebody. Fate is blessing somebody. Some of you guys are on the journey of a spiritual connection, on a love journey to your soul family. And then we have the Four of Wands. And Four of Wands is literally the card about divine union, harmony, contentment, joy, weddings, marriages, partnerships, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to put it like this so that this Four of Wands people are in the middle of the Wheel of Fortune. I think that that looks really nice. And let me tell you guys something, because I debate, like, what is the happiest card in tarot? Is it the Four of Wands or is it the 10 of Cups? And in this case, it doesn't matter because you guys got both. So at least in my book, you got the 2 happiest cards in the whole freaking tarot. So if you are not feeling this energy yet, then Spirit is here to tell you that you are about to experience the greatest joy, the greatest blessings, everything that you have been wanting, everything that you have been praying for. And I really hope that you know this is not something that I'm like sugarcoating, because literally, like, these cards are spelling it out. And I just looked up and the timer was at 3:33. So 333 might be an important number for you guys, as well as actually repeating ones are all over the place here. We have a 10 with the 10 of Cups. We have a 10 for the Wheel of Fortune. And the Four of Wands is sometimes called the 1111 card. I know it looks a bit different in this deck, but normally the wands would be just, you know, straight vertical. So it literally looks like the number 1111. And I kind of like that you guys are the one group who chose the mystery crystal. So it's kind of like maybe you did something spontaneous, you did something unpredictable, you took a risk, you embraced the mystery, and it brought you the greatest blessings of your life. So there might be something to take away from that. And even the Wheel of Fortune is known for being kind of unexpected, kind of unpredictable. This could be sort of a symbolism for your greatest blessings coming in a way that you least expect, or your greatest blessings coming to you when you embrace the unknown, when you embrace your spontaneity and put yourself out there. This kind of looks to me like things not going according to plan, but in the best way possible. Like divine redirection, divine intervention, leading you to everything that your heart and soul has wanted. It's like, let's picture somebody on January 1st and they write in their journal, like 2022, this is the kind of year that I want to have. Da, 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 da. They write everything out that they want. And then on December 31st, they look at what they wrote and they're like, Pah! Like, sorry, I don't know what that noise was. I think that's you scoffing. And you're like, literally none of this happened. Like, what actually ended up happening could not be farther from what I envisioned, but it was all for the better. I am so much more happy with what did happen than what I originally wanted. So with this Wheel of Fortune here, again, this is about unexpected things. Be open to divine intervention. Be open to things that are unexpected and unplanned, because it's in that uncharted territory that you are going to find your true joy. And if you guys are already experiencing these divine interventions or things kind of going off the rails, please know that it's all according to the divine plan, that it is all for the best, you're gonna be floored. You're gonna be floored with the blessings that come in. So I do want to talk as well, like I said, about the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands. These are cards that can talk about, you know, a very happy love union or a very happy romantic union, or finding your community that you really, really resonate with. So these blessings that are coming to you, I think, are very much surrounding your heart space and your emotions and your connection to others. So this could be finally manifesting the partner you want to be with, repairing a close relationship that is already in your life, things, you know, finally taking place with somebody that you like, or, you know, things like that. Your wishes coming true in your relationships, but just happening in a way that is totally different from what you expected. On that note, I will say that maybe some of you guys are like, you have in your mind that this is the person I'm supposed to be with, and while you're on this journey trying to be with them, you end up meeting someone else and being like way happier. Could be that you actually end up at a different destination, so that just might be something to be open to. But for most of you, it just feels like you cannot predict the way that this is going to happen. You cannot predict the way that you're going to get there. It's going to be twists and turns and ups and downs and scenic routes and tons of divine intervention. So just be open for it, is what this card is. These cards, it looks like one, but it's three, are really, really trying to tell you. And I wanted to say as well, what I really love about the Four of Wands in this deck is that it looks like these two people are building something. Like the way they're, you know, putting up the wands, you know what I'm trying to say. It looks like they're assembling something or building something together. So it has this feeling of building a happy home, and then the Ten of Cups talks about a happy family. So this really looks like you guys finding your home, finding your true family, your soul family, or your chosen family that really, really makes you happy. Finding your tribe, you know? So let's get into the Oracle deck that you guys chose now, the Astrocodes deck. And I have been calling out, you know, zodiac energy throughout all of these readings, as I usually do. But with this one, it'll probably be very straightforward because it is an astrology deck. So what do we have for group 3? What does Spirit want to add? I'm going to take these on the same side. Ooh, so we got Venus again, which was, you know, the card that was shown in the intro that you guys were drawn to. We have repeating 3s here. If we reduce 21, it's 3, 3. And I think that I saw 333 on the camera timer. If that wasn't this group, I did see it at some point. So we have repeating 1s and repeating 3s. There's just been a ton of repeating numbers throughout all of these readings, which makes sense because it is Spirit coming through today. And that is one way that Spirit very much likes to communicate. So this could be literally like Venus in Gemini, if somebody has Venus in Gemini, or this can be referring to the signs of Taurus and Libra. We have beloved, so even more confirmation of you guys being on a love journey, or you're about to manifest like the greatest love of your life or something like that. I think it's, oh my gosh, I think it's really interesting. I just noticed we have these 2 little bees on this card, and there's 2 little bees on this card too. So maybe bees are significant for you guys. I personally have heard this analogy of like a bee finding their flower, or a bee being drawn to a flower to sort of illustrate a love journey. So that kind of analogy or that kind of symbolism might be relevant to you guys. And I also wanted to say this pomegranate, it reminds me of the High Priestess, and it also reminds me of the Empress, because the Empress in tarot has pomegranates on her dress, and the High Priestess also has pomegranates on it, but I forget in what context. I just know that they're on there. So High Priestess and Empress energy might be significant for you guys. High Priestess means trust in the divine, Trust in your divine feminine energy. Feminine energy is receptive. Feminine energy is flexible. So it's perfect to work with divine interventions and twists and turns. Adaptability, flexibility, receptiveness, intuition. It's not so structured. It's not so logical. And I know that might sound like I'm dissing feminine energy, but probably the fact that we see that as a diss just shows how much of a patriarchy we live in, but that's a talk for another day. And the pomegranate's on the Empress as well. It's totally a sign of abundance and fertility. We did have the messages here of a happy home and a happy family. So that combined with the symbolism of fertility here, for some of you, this might be indicating that you will be having children, having a family of your own, or coming into union with the person with whom you would one day have children, or coming into union with the person who will be like the addition to your existing family with your children, something like this. And then in the more metaphorical sense, it doesn't have to literally be that you are birthing a child, but just that you're entering into a time of your life that is very fertile and fruitful and promising, meaning that any seeds that you plant, any intentions that you set, any ventures that you put your effort into are going to be blossoming and thriving and bearing fruit beautifully, like these flowers and fruit here. And with this cross-pollinate, this is making me think of networking, and this is making me think of you guys finding your community, because it's like you have your you have your garden over here that is blossoming and thriving, and then this other person over here has their garden that's blossoming and thriving. And then you like buzz into each other's gardens and pick up the pollen, and you know what I mean? Like you can benefit and prosper from each other's prosperity. And it's really giving me the vibes of this community that is supporting each other. Some of you guys are starting to get more involved in your community, or you're being encouraged to do so, whether that is in person or virtual, it doesn't matter. Or some of you guys are relocating to a neighborhood or to a city that you really feel this vibe. Like, man, everybody's doing their best. Everybody's thriving. We're all helping each other. You know, you're finding yourself in a neighborhood or in a town where people are so friendly. People are so eager to support and share their ideas and share their tips. And people are very generous. And I'm being shown this as a stark contrast to, you know, people who want monopolies over things, people who, when they get wealth, they hoard it. When they have information, they hide it. Like, only I'm allowed to have this pretty garden. And you're entering into a community where it's like, what's mine is yours. If I have some information or resources that's going to help you, of course I'm going to give it to you. And if you have something, you will give it to me. And it really just feels like, yeah, this idea of building something together. I think in this next chapter of your life, you'll have a lot of really, really promising business collaborations or creative collaborations, or honestly, just little domestic things like sharing recipes or sharing tips on how to clean your house or sharing tips on how to raise your children, or you know, people are just open and sharing, and it's in my best interest to help you. It's in my best interest that you're happy. This kind of like everyone's connected, everyone's coming together. And I think that's why there was so much focus on the beginning about really like happy relationships and happy heart space. And what else? Whew, is this one coming out? No. What else does Spirit want to say? Capricorn with achieve, and there's another number 1, specifically 10s. We have 3 10s, 10, 10, 10. This could be Spirit's way of saying that your future is a 10 out of 10, or Spirit's way of saying that a new beginning is coming. I just looked at the bottom of the deck, and I don't think I'm gonna take this card, but you see the number 19, it adds up to 10. I don't know if I meant to take this or if it's just Spirit being like, look, it's another 10. Actually, you know what? Let's throw it on there. You guys are getting quite a few extra cards, but that's fine. So we have this card that talks about achievements, and it's like you can do more when you're together. A while back it was in an Instagram pick a card, and there was a reading that reminded me of the phrase teamwork makes the dream work, and this kind of energy really reminds me of that as well. Like when we work together and when we share, we can achieve so much more. And like the sooner people get over their ego and get over this idea of I need to be the best or I need to have the upper hand over you, we can get so much more done for the collective. And so you're going to be surrounded by people who really believe this way and who really generously support you, and then in turn you want to support them. And I think what the moon is talking about here with perception, like if you put these together, it's your perception of achievement. And you're realizing that your definition of success and your definition of triumph and accomplishment and what you're proud of yourself for, it doesn't have to be what everybody else thinks that is. It doesn't have to be what society thinks it is, or your parents or your ego, because parents and ego are like really closely oh my God, I just noticed Capricorn is related to the father and the moon is related to the mother. So maybe it's like this success that you're having, this family that you're having, it may not be what your mother and father or your parents had. It may not be what they expected of you, but you're coming to terms with that. Like your perception of achievement and my perception of achievement don't have to be the same. The camera timer just said 1919. There's so many freaking 10s, and that number is like a cycle is ending and a cycle is beginning. The moon can also be Cancer energy, in case that is relevant to you guys. But okay, I'm glad I took this one. This deck is really beautiful. Let's move on now to the next tarot deck and see what additional messages Spirit has for you. So for group 3, what other messages do you have? We have the Knight of Coins. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. The cow is also making me think of Taurus energy. We have the Empress, whom I was literally talking about with that Venus energy. We have and they literally came out together. What did I say previously with the pomegranate? These cards don't have a pomegranate, of course, because this is like a different deck, but traditionally they have pomegranates. And these are like two of the beautiful divine feminine archetypes. They came through in this card and now they're coming through here. And actually the Empress is associated with Venus and the High Priestess is associated with the moon. So there's a lot of repeating imagery, repeating symbolism coming through here. In your life, group 3 who is watching, if you come across a lot of repeating images, symbols, words, numbers, please take notice of it, because Spirit is very obvious with you guys. Spirit is very literal with you guys. And even as you're going through this part of your life where from a logical perspective, you're like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening. I have no idea where I'm going. Spirit's always gonna give you hints of that with signs. Maybe not so much, you know, concrete 3D directions, but there will be kind of abstract signs everywhere, repeating and repeating and repeating to let you know where you're headed. Let's get a couple more. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? See, it's another repeating card, another repeating message, and another freaking 10. And one more. And 5 of, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to defend this happiness, I think. which honestly, I don't think it will be that difficult, because when you really, really love something or someone or some people, you will not take any crap, you know? You will defend them to the death. Not literally, but like you will do anything to defend them and defend your happiness. Okay, so that's kind of the last message. I will get back to that, but I want to go through them in order just for me so that I don't go on a million tangents. The Knight of Coins, what first came to my mind when I saw this card is that this is really a nod to your perseverance. You guys might have been a late bloomer or feel like you are a late bloomer, but it's like you were never tempted, or maybe you were tempted, but never enough to go for the fast track to success or go for someone else's definition of success. I do just want to point out that cows are also a symbol of abundance. I'm thinking of, it's in the Spirit Animal deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and the cow says, "The abundant universe will provide." Or maybe that's the buffalo one. But either way, it's like a bovine creature that has that message on it. And I'm also thinking, like, imagine you have a bunch of knights who are riding horses, and then you have a knight who's riding a cow. Probably the cow is going to be a little bit slower. I've never ridden a cow before, but this is my educated guess. And it's almost like Spirit is saying at any point you could have given into your temptation and ridden a horse to get to where everybody else is going faster. But deep down, I think you guys knew that that wouldn't make you happy. And I'm just going to give it like one example, and I'm not saying this is your situation, but just, you know, a story to illustrate what I mean. So let's say everybody around you is getting married and having kids, and there's this, you know, you have a suitor, you have a candidate who's really, really nice, and you feel the pressure, you know, it's time for me to get married and have kids. And maybe your parents are saying, "Oh, come on, this person is so nice, and look at your sibling or look at your childhood friend, they have this really nice family." You could have given into that pressure to, you know, please the people around you and to fit into the status quo and say, "Yeah, you know what, this person is pretty nice. They are pretty nice. I think I'll marry them and have kids with them." But just deep down you knew that that wasn't right. When everything on the outside maybe was pressuring you to do it, just deep down on the inside you felt that it wasn't right, and you said, "No, I'm gonna wait for the right person. Even if that's gonna take years longer, I'm gonna ride this cow instead of, you know, jumping on the nearest horse and galloping away. Because I know wherever that horse is going, it's not worth it just to be, you know, at the same pace as my peers, at the same point of life as my peers." And so Spirit is really, really commending you for committing to your own happiness, to your own perception of achievement, to your own definition of success and fulfillment. And sometimes the temptation was freaking strong, like I'm feeling it. Sometimes you might think, is something wrong with me? Am I crazy for not wanting to get on this horse? But no matter what your ego told you, no matter what your worries told you, something silent and gentle but deep within you, that's your divine feminine energy. She's subtle, but she's not to be underestimated. Something within you just told you, "No, wait." I cannot say why I feel that I should wait. I cannot say why this isn't right, but I just know. The High Priestess just knows. She knows from something deep within her. And I would even say the Empress too, because she has that divine feminine energy as well. And because of this, now you are going to be so handsomely rewarded. I really like that the Empress is in a flourishing garden, because it's exactly what we spoke about with these cards as well. I don't want to repeat myself too much because we've already seen symbolism of the Empress, symbolism of the High Priestess, symbolism of the Ten of Cups. What I could say is that when you get to your destination and when you get everything that you've wanted, some people from your past might come out of the woodwork. Either like regretting how they treated you, regretting how they judged you. And I want to be careful with this example because it could come across like, you know, I'm being like, haha, like, you know, I'm sticking it to you or whatever. But it's like the people you once envied, the people you once felt pressure to be like, the people who once made you feel insecure, either intentionally or not. It's like the tables have turned now. Now everybody wants a cow. Everybody who is riding a horse, now they're like, hey, so where did you get that cow? It looks nice. And you're like, oh, sorry, like, aren't you the one who was mocking me for being on a cow 3 years ago? Jessica? Like, it's like that kind of vibe. And I don't know the like original story behind this card, but the people coming out of the sea and admiring this happy family, it kind of gave me that vibe. And you know what? If you were to forgive these people and let them into your beautiful community, I don't think that would be such a bad idea. I think that would be a wonderful idea. It's like, hey, I'll tell you where I got my cow. It's never too late. You can join the cow riding club now. If you feel like sympathy for these people, that the tables have turned on them, and you let them into your beautiful, happy life, I think that you can definitely do that. You may, you know what, but I think you will know depending on how these people approach you, you know? There might be some people who really genuinely come to you and they say, I was wrong, I really misjudged, and I was maybe misguided in my own life. I thought I needed to get and do all these things so quickly and be on my horse, so to speak. But I see that you've made a beautiful life for yourself, and I'm sorry that I question you or criticize you or whatever it is. That kind of person who gives a heartfelt explanation, apology, whatever it is, I truly think that you can trust these people. If anybody just becomes even more bitter, even more judgmental, then don't even bother. Don't even bother like justifying yourself to those kinds of people. You know, they're just, if anybody's criticizing you, first of all, you're not even gonna care because you found so much happiness. But anyone who has something to say, it's likely just that they are unhappy with their own situation, which is unfortunate. But if they're like refusing to see that or refusing to acknowledge that, there's not very much that we can do to help those kinds of people. You know, I was saying earlier, you're gonna have to defend your happiness, but honestly, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You don't have to explain to anyone, well, I actually think that my life is pretty good because blah, 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 blah. You just have to enjoy your life. That's your only task, and let your happiness speak for itself, really. Okay, so let's move on to the fallback oracle deck. So this has, you know, written out messages on it, so I might just be reading them out. I might add something to it if I feel like it's necessary to. But let's see what else Spirit would like you to know. Woo, okay. Rest and recharge. Take it easy today. Even in stillness, there is movement. Give freely, support others, give expecting nothing in return. This is kind of coming through because I am just like making a note that they came out together. Some of you guys might be extending yourself a little bit too much to give to and care for the ones that you love. And it's really important to remember that if you're not properly rested and if you're not in a good, peaceful frame of mind, even if you try to, even if you want to, you can't really fully be there for the people who are counting on you. So, you know, to use myself as an example, if I was like, I gotta keep giving everybody content, I gotta keep making more and more readings because I think like this is my way of serving you, this is my way of helping you. And then I overwork myself and I start filming readings every single day. Like, sure, I'm showing up for you, I'm giving you something, but is it gonna be my best work? Probably not. I'm probably gonna start giving really, you know, what is it, half-hearted or half-assed readings if I overwork myself, because I'm just not gonna have the energy. And so rest is even important to be there for people. Showing up as your best self is really important. And in order to be your best self, you gotta care for yourself, you gotta rest. And what's really, really wonderful, just going back to this Venus and Gemini energy that we saw before, is that you're going to be in a community or in a circle of people that understand that. So when you need to rest, when you need to take time for yourself, like, it's so natural, it's understood. Okay, you go take your rest, you have a wonderful vacation, a wonderful day off, and we will pick up the slack while you're gone. Like, no questions asked. We'll figure out something. We'll arrange something because you need your rest. And maybe next time when someone else needs to rest, you can help them out. Like, we really need each other. We really got to stick together. And this was a theme that was coming out in group 2 as well. And I really hope this is a collective thing where we're having an awakening of our heart and we're getting close to people again. I think we're all really craving that love and connection at the end of the day. And you guys are getting a lot of extra cards. Okay, what do we have here? All is temporary. It's okay not to feel your best. Like the moon, we go through phases. Give yourself time to get your groove back. This too will soon pass. Yeah, this is like totally a reiteration, because when I think of, you know, it's okay to not feel your best all the time, when I think about the phases of the moon, it's like you cannot expect yourself to be on all the time. And the people who truly care about you will not expect you to be on all the time. A specific message that's coming through is that you're not obligated to reply to people quickly. If there's anyone in your life who makes you feel like shit when you take time to respond to them, I don't know, you either gotta give them a talking to and let them know what the deal is, or you need to maybe distance yourself from that person. Like, if someone texts you and you don't get back to them that same day, and then they start giving you an attitude, like, that's a red flag. And then, oh, I am the love of my life. I am enough. I love that. Okay, so we are going to move on. This is the final part of the reading. We're just going to get some tea leaf cards. These can be pretty random, so just a heads up. So they might just be, you know, unrelated to what we've been talking about, but still, you know, a message for you. Look! You know what? Honestly, the tea leaf, she's doing a good job today of like fitting in with the rest of the reading. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. This is exactly what we were talking about. Do not be tempted to lower your standards for instant gratification or to please other people. Listen to the high priestess that is within. You guys are just radiating divine feminine energy. Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. I can think of the unicorn's horn as like an antenna to receive downloads, but I also think of unicorns as embracing your weirdness and embracing your uniqueness. So again, like, you don't have to be a cookie cutter like everybody else. And the sad thing is that most people are not cookie cutters. Most people are not clones of everybody else, but there's this pressure to assimilate. And the people who are judging you are probably unicorns deep down, but they're just too scared to be unicorns. Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Okay, maybe there's a need to re-examine some relationships so that we can make space to bring in these blessed loved ones. And then we have ring. A marriage will take place, either romantic or business or both, I would say. And then grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. You know what this is making me think of together? This grasshopper in this flute. This is making me think of like the type of person that you need to walk on eggshells. The person that you need to walk on eggshells with. So some of you guys are dealing with a person like this, and I'm very sorry to say, like, the tribe has spoken. They're not like, I don't think they're gonna make it to the next round in your life. And then I noticed at the bottom of the deck we have rat. Someone is working against you behind your back. And I'm really, really sorry to say this, but maybe some of you guys need to know. You know, we saw with this card, we've seen throughout the reading that you guys are incredibly kind and generous. And I feel like there's somebody who is, you know, asking you for help all the time. Oh, and I'm shaking right now. I suddenly feel this kind of anger in my body. You're like going out of your way to help this person, and, you know, to your face, it's all like, oh, thank you so much. And then they're talking shit about you. And it's like, what the fuck? It's not like you owe me something in return because I helped you. But if you don't like me, like, leave me alone. Stop asking me for stuff. Stop expecting me to, like, go above and beyond when you're not even gonna do me the bare decency of talking nicely or at least neutrally behind my back. Like, fuck you. And I'm sorry, it just slipped out. But man, like, what? And then, like, you're gonna get upset if I don't reply to you. And if this is the same person, I'm just putting the pieces together. Someone's gotta go, group 3. I'm sorry to tell you, someone's gotta go. Ooh, that's like kind of an icky note to end the reading on. I hope that what you take away, from all of this is like all of the beautiful stuff that we spoke about before. But these are all the messages I have for you guys, so I'm gonna end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. I'm sending you guys lots of love. Oh, and I also have a Patreon. Jesus, I really can't do this outro today. I'm all over the place. And also, I'm kind of frazzled. I'm kind of frazzled from this last message that we got. I should say though, if you have already dealt with somebody like this, then this could just be a mere confirmation that you did the right thing by cutting them out. Because it's not like you dealt with someone like this in the past and then it's like, oh, there's someone else who's acting like this. No, I don't feel that. So if you already dealt with this rat, don't worry. Then it's over, and this is just a confirmation that cutting them out was the right thing. Because, you know, even when somebody is mistreating us, we can still have a lot of guilt when we cut them off. Like, am I being too harsh? Maybe I should have given them another chance, or, you know, sympathizing with them like that. And Spirit's like, nope. That rat had to go. You did the right thing. Even I feel kind of harsh. I hope that, I know I'm saying pretty like harsh and, you know, crude stuff about this person. I hope that some of you guys watching out there feel some kind of catharsis from that. But anyway, where did I get to in the outro? I wish you a wonderful day and night, definitely. I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Lepidolite and the Moonology Manifestation Oracle, this is going to be your reading about the messages from Spirit that were meant to find you. I just needed to say before we get into the reading, I'm picking up on this feeling of somebody who is quite discouraged at the moment. I don't know if this is your energy or maybe it's somebody in your life, but the message is kind of like, I'm tired of it all. Like, I'm just tired, and I don't know what I'm fighting for. Like, is it really worth it? I guess if I had to give an analogy, it's like somebody who's been working really hard towards their dream, you know, going to work every day, working long hours, but now they're burnt out and the dreams that they were promised don't seem to be coming. And they're like, what am I really working for? This goal that I thought I wanted, is this really worth it? And like, I know that I'm supposed to have faith, but I'm so tired that I can't even be bothered to try to stay positive right now. It is a little bit of a tough energy to sit with, if I'm being honest. If this doesn't sound like you where you're at all, or it doesn't sound like anybody you know, then I'm not sure if this is your group. But it's interesting because Lepidolite is a stone that really does help us with struggling with mental health, with depression and things like this. So maybe if you guys were drawn to this stone, it's because you need that uplifting, calming, or just reassuring energy in your life. Like, everything is going to be okay. You don't have to put on a brave face. You don't have to try so hard. If you don't know where you're going, it's okay to stop walking for now. Okay, so let's get into the reading. I'm actually just going to put this to the side for now. And we're going to start off the reading with this transparent tarot deck. This has been really fun to use throughout this video. It's the first video that I'm using it in, but basically, as you can see, the cards are see-through. So when you overlap them in different ways, you can kind of make different pictures. And so it's been really interesting. And I'm going to start with this to see what Spirit wants to talk to you about today, or just to get more insight on your current situation. All right, so for group 4, what picture will we create? So this is the Emperor. That's an interesting image for the Emperor. This is, like I said, this is my first time using it, so a lot of the images will be my first time to see it. We have the Ace of Cups. I don't know how I want to put this yet. Let's see what the third card is. Oh, you guys have 4. Oh, I just noticed. So some of you guys might know, because I say this pretty often, I feel like, when numbers 1 and 4 come out together, that is an immediate sign for me that angels are in the building. So you guys do have guardian angels with you. And I just noticed that the numbers that have come out here are 1, 4, and 3. And 1, 4, 3 is I love you, because, you know, I has 1 letter, love has 4, you has 3. So 1, 4, 3 is I love you. Right away, your guardian angels are coming through and saying I love you. Look, this is somebody who is overworked. We have the 4 of Swords. I kind of want to keep these separate, I think. So you guys will have 2 pictures. Yeah, somebody's overworked, someone's very stressed about finances, somebody's very stressed about material things. This is the 4 of Swords, which is, it talks about rest, it talks about inaction. I was kind of picking up on this at the very beginning when I was getting that intuitive message that you guys need to rest, you guys need to take a break. Like, there's no point in fighting if you don't feel happy or passionate about what you're fighting for. Just working for the sake of working, fighting for the sake of fighting. And this 4 of Swords, it kind of reminds me of the 10 of Swords. The way this person is lying down. I know that the swords are pointing outwards, so it's a little bit different than the 10 of Swords, but just the overall shape of it is really reminding me of it. Like, you guys need your current cycle to come to an end. This group really feels like you are longing for some relief from your current situation. You need a rest, you need a break. And the way I saw this, look at how freaking disrespectful this 3 of Pentacles person is. It's like this person is lying on the ground and the 3 of Pentacles person is on top of them. Like, when can you get this done? When can you complete this task? Are you still good to finish this by Monday? It's like, can't you see I'm struggling? Can't you see I'm tired? You guys might be with people or in some kind of organization or group that really doesn't, and it sounds so, it's like so sad to say, but in some ways it's like you're not being seen as a person with emotional needs or with a life outside of your work or a life outside of what value you can create for these people. It feels like someone keeps asking and asking and asking of you without any, I don't know how to say this in English. I guess like they're clueless. They can't read the mood. They can't read the atmosphere, you know? Can't you take a hint that I'm, you know what I mean? Like if someone's like, hey, are you busy today? And you're like, yeah, I have this and this and this and this. I have like a little bit of free time from 2 to 2:30, but other than that, I'm swamped. And then they're like, oh, great. Can you do this for me between 2 and 2:30? It's like, no. If you hear someone literally has 30 minutes of free time in their day, don't you read the mood and like, oh, okay, I'll figure it out myself. So I don't know if this is like a company or a specific person in your life, but you guys need a break, and there's somebody who's not honoring that. With these cards together, I want to tell you guys, you are on the right path to finding your happiness. There's just some adjustments that need to be made, like clearly. And the story that I'm being shown here is like somebody moved to the big city, somebody made a big move to find their happiness, and they haven't found it yet. So they're starting to doubt, is my happiness really here? And I think Spirit is saying, your happiness, represented by the Ace of Cups, is somewhere in this city. So you are in the right place. You just have to keep looking around this place a little bit more. And if you look closely, you will see your happiness shining out. So you guys are not on the wrong path, or you're not completely misdirected. It's like a right place, wrong people, or right city, wrong company, wrong neighborhood, so to speak. You're definitely in the right area of where your happiness lies. And I think the more you start to prioritize yourself and prioritize your emotions over productivity, or prioritize your emotions over needing to prove to yourself that you can follow through with something, then you'll find your happiness. Maybe some of you guys feel guilty. Like it feels like you're giving up if you walk away. It feels like you're giving up if you take a break, because you're like, I told myself I was going to reach this goal. I told myself I was going to go through with it. If the promise you made yourself is not benefiting you anymore, it's okay to break your promise. Like, you know what I mean? I'm also thinking an example of somebody who maybe they decided to go on this very strict like diet and exercise program, but they feel like shit. What's more important? Keeping your word to yourself that you're gonna follow through with this stupid program, or feeling good? Like, what is more important than you feeling good? Do you know what I mean? Don't just do it because you told yourself you were going to. And I know it will be hard if you have a history of not following through with things, but why is that so important anyway? It's arbitrary if you're following through with something you don't like just to say that you did. Like, you guys need to be okay with changing your mind. You guys need to be okay with backing out. That does not make you flaky. It makes you adaptable. It makes you someone who thinks critically. It makes you someone who cares for yourself. Man, this is a tough energy. I really feel for you guys. So let's go on now to the Oracle deck that you guys chose, the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. You guys are really due for a blessing. I'm happy that you chose the Manifestation Oracle, and I'm happy that you guys chose the Lepidolite. Honestly, for you guys, all of the crystals that you see here, I think would be amazing for you. If you like crystals, if you feel like getting them, if you can get them, We have Lepidolite here, of course. This is blue lace agate. This will help to soothe your emotions. This is rose quartz that will help you with self-love and compassion and help you to honor your emotions and your heart more. And then this is amethyst that will help you to calm down, that will bring you clarity, that will help to protect you from negative energy, negativity. All of these you can benefit from. Okay, what? Oh my God. Let's try that again. What else does group 4 need to know? We have the first quarter moon in Leo with Be Humble. Oh my gosh, this is the card that you guys were drawn to, or, you know, that maybe you chose the pile because of. I'm not sure, but it's the one I showed in the intro. And I will say when I flipped over this card, the camera timer was exactly 11:11, and every single group has gotten like repeating ones or 11:11, which is really, really cool. It's not super uncommon for me to look up and see repeating numbers on the camera timer, but it's very rare. I don't know if it's ever happened where every single group gets the same number, but 11:11 has really been making her appearance. Speaking of new moon in Aquarius, there will be one coming up quite soon at the time that this is uploaded. I don't know the exact date, but it's going to be in the first few days of February, I think. So if you guys are watching this in January when this is uploaded, there might be a significant change coming to you guys in the next couple weeks. I think it's a significant connection that is coming to you guys. We have Leo and Aquarius energy here, so it is kind of giving me, you know, counterpart energy or just relationship energy, because they are, did I already say they're sister signs? That's what I was trying to get at. They're opposite signs, meaning they are sister signs. Aquarius is in the 7th house from Leo. Leo is in the 7th house from Aquarius. 7th house is all about the other. I think you guys are about to meet somebody who is very, very significant, who in some way is going to help you out of this situation or help you find your happiness. I think it's somebody who's going to help you find your community. Now, I'm being shown a very cheesy example, but, you know, going back to that person who's working in this, you know, hamster wheel job where they're not being respected. I'm imagining it like a movie, you know, someone moved to New York City, someone moved to the big city, and it's like not going well for them. And then they meet this eccentric character on the street. And this eccentric character brings them to a hole in the wall where people are breakdancing. There's like a breakdancing competition going on. And the person just lights up and they're like, oh my gosh, this is my passion. Breakdancing is my passion. And then this eccentric character takes them under their wing. I know it's kind of a weird example, and that's probably not exactly what is going to happen for the vast majority of you, or maybe for any of you, but it is this feeling that you are about to meet someone significant who's going to help lead you to where your happiness truly lies. And for some of you, this could be an intimate soul family member. The Leo energy is making me think that, but with the Aquarius energy, it could just be like, you know, you guys are from a similar soul origin, so to speak. Like you both have really, really strong Pleiadian roots, or you both have a lot of past lives in a certain place, or you know what I mean? It may not necessarily be that your souls are on a first name basis, but you kind of have the same origins and you can bond over that. Is kind of the vibe that it's giving me. By the way, I'm sorry about if you can hear the rumbling noise. I am right next to I'm right next to the garage, so sometimes you can hear like car noises and stuff like that. But okay, with this Aquarius energy being open to change and be humble, and the Leo versus Aquarius, Leo is all about like the self, the ego, the pride, and Aquarius is about the community, the collective at large. And so the vibe that I'm kind of getting from this is that this person you meet, Your first instinct or your ego's first instinct might be to judge this person, because I'm telling you, this person is gonna be a little bit eccentric and weird to you at first. It's not gonna be the type of person that you normally hang out with, at least in the 3D, because I think your souls are more similar than you realize, but you might just be like, what's this person's deal? Imagine somebody, you know, meeting a tarot reader, for example, and they've never read tarot cards before, they've never really believed in that kind of stuff, and they meet a tarot reader. Probably, even though they might know better to have an open mind and have compassion and blah, 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 they still have an ego that's gonna be like, this is kind of weird. Like, this person really believes in that, or why are they so into these, like, cards, you know? You might have that little part of you that is judging, but you will open up to the change. You'll be humble. Like, I'm sure there's something I can learn from this person. Heck, I might even change my mind and get into the things that they get into. And also be humble that, you know, this plan that I came to this city with, maybe there's room for improvement. Maybe I'm meant to pursue something else. Just being humble and having an open mind is what I pick up from these. Ooh, you guys are getting a lot of extra cards as well. I thought group 3 was getting a lot of extras, but you guys are taking the cake. We have the first quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. So that kind of matches. And then we have the last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. Do I want to figure out when all of these are? Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do it. So definitely we have the beginning of February here. This is going to happen in the first week of May. This is going to happen probably in like October-ish. And this is going to happen in August? Yeah. If I'm wrong, I'll put little notes because I'm just like doing the calculations in my head, so I could definitely be wrong. But whenever, because this is a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to stumble upon this reading, please take like whichever of these are the soonest for you, because you guys have already, like I said, you're due for a blessing. Did I say that or did I just think it? Because I was definitely thinking that you guys are due for a blessing. And I really do think that this is coming soon. Like, help is coming soon. A breakthrough is coming soon. So whichever one is soonest for you guys at the time that you are watching this. But let's look at the messages that we have here. We have, oh my gosh, you have, oh, never mind. I thought you had one of each moon phase, but there's two first quarters, so never mind. We have the message, unleash your kindest self, and we have the message, clear your mind. Some of you guys might be finding that you haven't been yourself recently. Maybe you have found that you're just a little bit more irritable, that you find yourself not being as patient or loving as you normally are, because when I put these together, it's like your mind is so frazzled or so consumed with stress that you cannot be your kindest self, or you cannot be your most peaceful self. And I think something that's really, really beautiful about this transition coming is that you will come back to yourself. You'll feel like yourself again. I'm as cheerful as I used to be. I'm as friendly and sociable as I used to be. I'm as kind as I used to be. For some of you guys, you might not have even realized like just how, you know, outgoing you are, just how much you want to be friendly and in the mix and connected to people. This is a theme that's been running through a lot of the groups. So the more I see it, the more I'm kind of starting to think this is a collective thing where we're starting to open up and embrace connections more and be more like friendly, sociable, outgoing. This vibe is really, really strong in a lot of the readings, but you guys just haven't been yourself. You haven't been yourself, but I want to tell you that help is coming soon. That's the sentence that keeps repeating in my mind. Almost like a lifeboat is coming soon. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next tarot deck and see what additional messages Spirit has for you. Okay, so we have we have the 10 of coins. I'm very, very happy to see this. We have the 8 of swords. Okay. We have the 2 of cups. Seven of cups. Oh, I like this card for you guys, and I'm seeing it in a new context. And the star. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me just compose myself. I'm so happy to see all of this because, man, that was kind of a tough first half of the reading. I hope that at the very least you could feel some validation. Like, I see you going through it. I feel for you. You have angels with you. They're saying, I love you. With that 1, 4, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna go through these in order. The first card that we have here is the 10 of coins, and I'm just remembering at the beginning of the reading, I was kind of picking up, like, many of you might be worried about money, worried about your work, or like, you know, stress out about material, financial matters and things like that. And so I'm really happy to see the 10 of Pentacles because this is a card about long-term abundance and prosperity, having security in your money, having security in your home, having security in your family. Like, you guys are you are going through a rough patch right now, but I want to tell you that the long-term future looks really secure and comfortable and content for you. And there is an opportunity in your job or an opportunity to make money. And I'm going to say around the corner loosely, just because I've found that sometimes when spirit or spirit guides say something is coming soon, that's like a very, you know, liberal definition. What we think is soon and what spirit guides think is soon can sometimes be different. So if I'm being honest, you guys might feel like you're waiting quite a bit for this from the time that you're watching. But in Spirit's words, it's soon. This opportunity for abundance, starting to build up your finances, this is coming soon. But the key here lies in the 8 of swords. The 8 of swords is like, you think that you can't do something, but you actually can. So it's your own mindset that is keeping you trapped. And this reminds me of what we were talking about before, where some of you guys are really putting pressure on yourselves to commit to something, even though it's not making you happy, because you've prioritized your ability to commit to something more than your happiness, more than your inner peace, or you've prioritized your loyalty to people who don't really care about you as a person more than your own happiness. And so with this Ace of Cups, there needs to be like a radical change of self-love, of self-prioritization. And this is quite difficult. It's like, you know, when you've been in the dark for a really long time, and then somebody turns on a light and it blinds you, right? Because your eyes are so accustomed to the darkness. When you become so accustomed to overexerting yourself, to giving too much of yourself, when you start to prioritize yourself, it feels the same level of discomfort as like a light turning on in the darkness. Your eyes are like, ah! So you're probably gonna feel like, oh my gosh, I'm being so selfish, I'm being so reckless, I'm betraying this group, or I'm betraying my past self. Like, what am I doing? Like, it's gonna feel uncomfortable, but you get used to it. As you turn on the light, it, you know, it's uncomfortable at first, and then your eyes get used to it and you start to see again. So your mindset, whether or not you believe that you can do this, is really important. And you guys, with this 8 of Swords, you need to break free. And I think it's really interesting that there's these buildings outside of the cave and this person is hiding away. Because when I look at this card, it's like, you're in the right place. You're where you need to be. Your happiness is out there. But then this is you like hiding away in your cave. I know it's so difficult, but have hope. Follow your joy. Put your joy first. It's out there. And your mindset is all that you have. Your mindset is what can really determine how things go. Open up to change. Keep an open mind. We have the Two of Cups here, which I really like to see. For some of you, this could be, because this is obviously, you know, an intimate, mutually happy, harmonious relationship. For some of you, this could be talking about the person who's coming in soon, who's gonna, you know, help you find this happiness. This could be a romantic relationship or just a really deep friendship. But for others of you, I'm feeling that it's this person who will introduce you to your Two of Cups, to your romantic love, or to your very, very deep friendship. You know, kind of like a third mutual party who will introduce you like that. But part of this journey is encountering a Two of Cups, is encountering a soulmate of some kind, whatever resonates with you, or I would say whatever you're looking for, because with the Star, I'm jumping ahead a bit, but with the Star, some big wish of yours is coming true. So, you know, when you look at the Two of Cups, is this your wish for romance? Is this your wish for close friends? Is it both? Because I think that this Two of Cups is referring to your relationship wish. So the biggest thing though is people who reciprocate. People who will help you and support you to prioritize yourself and prioritize your peace of mind. It's no longer, do I have to choose my best interest or theirs? Because they also want you to be happy. They also want your best interest to be answered to. They also want you to be peaceful and supported. And I'm hearing like you remind me that there's still good in the world. So this might be something that you and this other party like mutually make each other feel. You remind me that there's still good in the world. You remind me that there's real love, real friendship out there. And even if this is a romantic person, a romantic connection, I should say, I think the friendship that you share is really, really, really significant. And there's a lot of really nice things that are coming through with the Seven of Cups. I'm going to start with the first thing that came to my mind, which is more of the interpretation that is kind of common, I guess, when I get the Seven of Cups. Sorry, I don't know why it was so hard for me to say, but it came out next to the Star, and one of the interpretations I attribute to the Seven of Cups pretty often is like dreams, something being dreamy and being overwhelmed with emotions. And also it can talk about illusion, and the Star talks about something that feels too good to be true. So when these come out next to each other, this is like you guys can hardly believe the love that you have encountered and the happiness that you've encountered. And you're like saying to the universe, is it really okay for me to receive this? Is this for me? Is this real? It kind of doesn't feel real. You might think that it's an illusion. You might think that it's wishful thinking, but the Star confirms that it's real. So pretty soon, and again, I'm using soon kind of liberally, soon according to spirit, you'll start to feel like life is a dream, that you need to be pinched because it's just too good to be true. And then the sort of new interpretation that I don't think I've ever used before with the Seven of Cups, because it's kind of unique to the artwork of this deck. On a lot of traditional decks, we would see these as cups that are like open cups, and they're filled with different things. Like there's cup filled with jewelry, there's cups filled with, I don't know, they're all filled with different things. But these are closed, like they have a lid on them. And one of the meanings of this card can be that you're kind of overwhelmed by options or overwhelmed by possibilities. But when these are closed, what this was telling me is that you stop, I would even go so far to say like torturing yourself. You stop stressing yourself out about the what ifs. Because you can think of all of these as potential scenarios, potential paths, and while usually we would see someone getting overwhelmed by that because they're trying to contemplate and entertain all of them, when these are closed, it's like I've put an end to that. I've found closure. I've found my happiness. I'm happy with where I am right now. So there's no use in wondering, what would have happened if I stayed here and pushed through a little bit longer? What would have happened if I never came to this city? Because we usually tend to do that when we're not happy in our current situation, right? We start to go back in time and think, maybe if I had done this instead, or if I hadn't done that, I would have been in a better situation, you know, and that's the analytical or problem solving part of our mind that we all have, just trying to figure out where we went wrong. So it's not like a flaw to think that way. I think it's a natural response that our brain has when we're in a shitty situation. I want to know where I went wrong so that it doesn't happen again. But where this mechanism doesn't work is when, like, there's no use, when we can't go back in time and change things. And I don't know, different components of our brain do different functions, but sometimes they don't communicate with each other very well. It's like, no, that kind of problem solving analysis doesn't work in this situation because we can't go back in time. But anyway, once you're currently happy in your situation, it's like there's no need to do that. I don't care what would have happened if I did XYZ back then, because I'm here now and that's all that matters. Whatever I did back then, it led me here anyway. So I'm happy with how it all turned out, and I don't have any regrets, which is like a totally new interpretation to the Seven of Cups that you heard it here first. You guys got the premiere, okay? So we're gonna move on now to the fallback oracle deck. On this deck, it has like full messages written out, so I might just read them. I might add my 2 cents to them if I feel like it's necessary. Okay, for group 4, what other messages do you have? Meditate. Ooh, it's similar to the clear your mind message. Make time to just be. Get lost in the moment. A chill you is patient, creative, and happy. Yes, the more you clear your mind, the more you will unleash your kindest self, the version of you that is the most relaxed and happy and you. Wait, I'm gonna put this here. And oh, do you guys have the same? Yes, you do. I haven't been paying attention in the other groups, but I usually like to make a note if both of the cards that come out are the same image, because this deck has like 5 different images on it. So it's kind of cool when you get a match like this, and even cooler for you guys because you got the 2 of Cups here, and you had the sister signs here, and this is like mirroring, making a heart, you know. Okay, so oh, maybe it's just a story you're telling yourself. Notice what you say to yourself and others. You have the power to change the story. You are allowed to change your mind. And what matters most with the story you tell yourself is whether it benefits you, whether it serves your highest good. A lot of the times when we tell the story of our life and our experience, there's no objective right or wrong. Like, of course, if you're talking about stuff that happened, then there might be like an objective truth. But when it comes to the meaning that you extract from things, what this experience means for you, whether it's good or bad or what it taught you, that's all up to you. You have the power to create the narrative over your life. So don't think like, I have to perceive this way because XYZ. You're allowed to say, I'm changing my mind because that's what's best for me, and I'm not going to do this anymore. And you're allowed to go back and change your story as well. Just like an author is allowed to scratch their, what is it called, manuscript, and rip it up and write something completely different. They're allowed to do that. Okay, so the last part of this reading, we're going to take a look at some tea leaf oracle cards for any last messages, whether they be about what we've been talking about here or something else. Ooh, we have May coming through. Was that one of the, yes, it was one of the months that we got with the first quarter moon in Leo. It was like the first week of May, I think, will maybe be a significant time for you guys. If you live in Japan, maybe Golden Week is significant. You have some time off work. And it's funny because there's cherry blossoms on these cards as well. And there's cherry blossoms here as well. Maybe you live somewhere where there's cherry blossoms in May, in the springtime, and that's going to be like a significant time for you. We have Vase with Secret Admirer. Beryl, you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Yeah, I mean, that's literally, literally what we've been talking about. And then, oh, the last one is dogs, getting together with friends. Interesting. So we had this message about you guys finding your true friendship, finding the group that makes this cold city a little bit warmer, the group that reminds you there's good and true love in the world. So maybe with these two cards together, you have a secret admirer among your friend group. But yes, these are all the messages that I'm seeing for you guys. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!